Hey guys, Auspiciously here, and welcome to episode 9 of the Berlin Dynamo series. Now, today's episode, we're sort of coming off the back of the winter break over the course of sort of a little bit of December and then January as well, which is a thing in Germany. They do take, I think, about a month off during that time period. So, without further ado, let's get into the league table. I realise that I don't actually need to move the face camera. I will, though, for the sake of showing you where everyone else is in the league at the moment. So as you can see, we're currently in 7th place. We're doing well, 37 points. We're essentially 3 points away from clinching a playoff spot or even an automatic promotion spot, really. As Gladbach 2 and Dortmund 2, they're both still in 1st and 2nd place. Worth mentioning that our sort of Dynamo rivals, Dynamo Dresden, they're actually in the top promotion spot, albeit only 4 points away from us. So realistically, if we continue the form we're having, which is really, really good at the moment, we might get promoted with Dynamo Dresden. Now, it's a bit of a long shot. I wasn't sort of expecting to get promoted in this first season. But with the way that things play out, there are 5 teams that cannot gain promotion, being all these Bundesliga teams, all these reserve teams. They can't actually get promoted into that 2 Bundesliga. So therefore, 5 teams out of 20 leaves 15 teams fighting for those sort of promotion spots, of which there are potentially 3. 2 guaranteed, and then that 1 playoff spot. So it's very interesting, and like I said, we're only 3 points away from the playoff spot, and then potentially even that first automatic promotion spot. Anyway, let me bring the camera back up to the top here, and we'll go through these fixtures. The financial situation still very, very dreadful. Anyway, the previous episode was the 3-2 victory over Dortmund 2, and then the disappointing 1-0 loss to Ingolstadt. We followed that up with a 2-1 loss away from home against Bayern Munich 2. Unfortunately, we did actually start the better of the 2 teams in this one. As you can see, Amadin getting the opening goal for us there. However, in that second half, they got a goal back through Pavlovic, but in that second half, they sort of just dominated us, which I did expect to a certain extent, because they have some really good players, as you would imagine, being Bayern Munich's sort of reserve team. They got some really good youngsters, good German players in there as well. And as you can see, we didn't really get much on target. Our possession was good. Our XG was okay, but I guess a little bit. We just weren't clinical. That's probably the best way of putting it. As you can see, 6.3 for Jublovic, 6.4 for Bojovic, and Susek with a 6.4 as well. Next game against Waldhof, we managed to beat them 4-0, so a very good sort of comeback win after 2 straight losses in a row. Basically played them off the park, which is pretty important considering where they sit currently in the league. I think they're last or second last, something like that. Seebeck opened the scoring for us, Bojovic getting himself 2 goals there, and then Anor, our youngest ever goal scorer, the German regen, coming through our youth academy, getting himself a goal in the 77th minute, and a 7.4 match rating for himself as well. So I did mention that I was going to try and bring him on when I can. We've got him in that tutor group to try and increase his determination and, of course, hopefully change his player mentality from a low determination player, and trying to at least get him to maybe balanced. I feel like it'd be a pretty good change. Up next, we played 2 friendly games. That was during that sort of winter break. A 3-3 victory, 3-3 draw, against Magdeburg, and then a 5-2 victory against Ajax's reserve team. And then we recommenced league action with a 2-0 victory over first place Gladbach 2. So the team we lost to in the first game of the season in that very close fixture, we got revenge, beat them, and we actually sort of dominated them to an extent. They did have a player sent off in Kemper in that 23rd minute, and then we started scoring for fun, really. Jublovic had a goal disallowed. But then we had Susek and Huther getting 2 goals for us, and kept a clean sheet. It's also worth mentioning that Tellers Villalobos, the goalkeeper on loan, did actually get a start in this one as Mikkel was out injured for it. So, yeah, interesting to get a clean sheet in his debut. We did actually play him in this next game as well against Sandhausen. We beat them 3-2. Not as sort of convincing, conceding 2 goals, but in the end, we managed to get the win, which is probably the most important part. Villalobos, the goalkeeper, didn't exactly have a very good game in his second ever sort of game for us. Realistically, it probably could have been a draw. They did have a goal disallowed to sort of kick the game off. We got a goal through Susek. They got one back in the 19th minute, 3 minutes after. We got a goal through Amadin in the 20th minute, a minute after their goal. We also got another goal in the 45th minute from Amadin. Amadin and Susek really, the 2 inside forwards doing a massive job in this game and just absolutely dominating from the get-go, really. They got another goal and, they actually looked pretty good sort of going into that full-time period. And the final game just played was a 1-1 draw against Osnabrück. Again, we sort of dominated this one, as you can see. It was sort of even, especially in the XG. They had a very similar XG to us. So again, we're not so clinical. We're not making those chances as often as I think I would like us to. But Bojovic getting the opening goal in the 9th minute for us, and then they got their equaliser in the 89th minute. So 80 minutes without a goal in between there, and a very hard-fought draw. Villalobos with a 7.6 in this one. So I don't really know what to make of him. He's not a bad goalkeeper for his age. I think he's only 19. But I think Mikkel is back now, if I'm not mistaken. So we've got a little bit of a dilemma going into this one. Anyway, today's games are going to be taking on Arminia Bielefeld and then Hoffenheim 2 as well. And I've actually got a massive game coming up against Dresden there as well. Anyway, let's get into that. We're a couple of days off. I apologize. I should have been a little bit more prepared. But we can talk about things. We are very close to potentially getting promoted. I don't know if promotion would be the best thing for us right now. I say that because I don't think our team is going to be anywhere near strong enough to actually stay competitive in 2 Bundesliga, or Bundesliga 2, whatever you want to call it. There are a lot of really good teams in Bundesliga 2, and our wage budget, along with the level of quality that we have at the club at the moment, is miles off. I think we're sort of competitive enough. Like I said, I expected us to sort of be around the mid-table sort of level this season, but I think at this point we're sort of exceeding my expectations, which is good. It's very good. However, if we are to get promoted by some sort of miracle, I don't think it would be a miracle, but it would be very, very difficult to take that next step up. Much more difficult from going from Regionalliga to 3-Liga as it was this season. So, yeah, it's going to be a very interesting thing. I say I don't really want to get promoted, but at the same time, if we do get promoted, we get all the money that comes with it. So it's it's a tough decision to sort of be in the mindset of, what do we do here? Do we go with Mikkel or do we go with Televillalobos? We're gonna stick with the Lone. We're gonna stick with the Lone. We'll do that as well. Chatto can come back in. Actually, Chatto can go back in the starting lineup. And then Seebeck can come back in as well. Although Stark has been playing really well. That's a tough one. We'll do that. Yeah, so Stark's average rating was like a 6.4 or something recently. And he's up to a 6.94, which is much better. That's going to be the lineup today. So Villalobos in goal. We've got Ikale, Chatto, Lida, and Maya as our sort of back line there. We've got Gudra and Seebeck, who's coming back in as well. Jublovic in front of them as the shadow striker. Amadin on the right, Susek on the left, and Bojovic up top. The bench day, it's going to be Mikkel, Pelivan, Maya, Hutha, Stark, Uzan, Liebelt, Molina, and Daniel Anor as well. So let's get into it. Bielefeld, they're a good side. They're a very good side. I think they've been Bundesliga 2 for quite some time. But I do fancy our chances. So we'll give them the underdog team talk and we'll just get out there and hopefully smash it. So they've actually got a pretty nice stadium, Bielefeld. Very nice indeed. Anyway, I think being in Bundesliga 2 would be extremely difficult, but like I've said, it would probably solve those financial problems that we have. And it's worth mentioning that I have been linked with some pretty good players recently. So it seems like our sort of reputation might have sort of increased, at least to this like 3-liga sort of, a consistent 3-liga club type level. I just wish we had a bit more money. If we had more wage budget, I'd be able to sign some of these free transfers. All these guys that are currently unattached. Ozcan to Shrek, and they hit the post there, so very lucky for us. And good to see that we haven't actually conceded in the first 10 minutes of the game. That has been happening, especially with those recent losses from the last episode. Anyway, Gudra here, back to Seebeck, Maya, Susak, shots blocked, Akale gets himself in the box, and that's a deflected cross. Didn't look terrible there. Didn't look terrible. All right, so we've got the ball again here. Maya's coming forward. Oh, that's an absolutely beautiful pass. Wow. Amadin puts it in the back of the net. That was a lovely cross, though. Wow. Fair play. I mean, Jublovic gets the assist, but I don't think it was him that actually put that cross in. And Jublovic is now injured. So, question is, what do we do? I think I'm going to go with Stark. I wanted to go for Anor, but this game's sort of too important if we do want to push on and try and get that promotion, which I do, because theoretically, the sooner we can get into those higher leagues or the higher divisions, it's so tough. It's so tough because I really don't want to go up and then get relegated and come back down. I feel like that'll... Oh, good save. It actually hits the crossbar. That'll really set us back quite a bit. If we go up to Bundesliga 2, get relegated back down to 3-liga, I think that the club won't be better off for it, if that makes sense. I think we'd be better off staying in 3-liga, getting a few new players, hopefully with a bit more wage budget released, and then potentially trying to get promotion next season. Seabeck hits the post himself there. That was a beautiful little run by the box-to-box midfielder. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's real tough. But let's try and focus on this game. Bielefeld with the corner. Keeper punches it away. Blocked as well. Good strong block there by Seabeck. Oh, and they've got in. Luckily, that was a big save. I thought that might have been a penalty as well. There's no sort of VAR in 3 Liga, so not really something we have to worry about. Got 4 minutes of stoppage time for this first half as well. And we win the ball back, so good win. I think that was Seabeck in midfield again. Seabeck's, he's pushing up a lot, which is kind of good to, good to see. Getting involved with pretty much everything. That was a pretty bad pass by Seabeck. And yeah, that's really frustrating that we concede there in stoppage time as well. It sort of went from our attack. Seabeck gives a ball away, and then all of a sudden, we concede a goal. I'm just going to tell him I'm not happy. We're also going to ease. Oh, we've got another. No, disregard. Going to ease Meyer off on his tackles. I'm probably going to take Seabeck off. We've scored somehow in the first minute and a half. Bojovic. It looked like he actually took the ball away from Seabeck just then. So maybe Seabeck will get an assist for that. He actually does. So Bojovic takes the ball, away from Seabeck's feet and then blasts it into the back of the net. And Seabeck gets an assist for that. I guess we'll keep him on. We'll keep him on, and we'll bring Huther on for the Gudra. And we'll swap those two around. Have Huther play as box to box. Thought that might have been offside there. All right, we're 70 minutes in, 2-1 up. We look all right. I might actually take Stark off. He's on a yellow card, 6.3. Anor, welcome to the first team, mate. Get out there. I mean, it's not really... Oh, come on, boys. What is that? That was terrible by Leader. He's on a 6.3 himself. That's frustrating. That was nearly a gifted goal. All right, Seabeck. Amadin. To Akale. He's got a bit of room to play. And again, we give the ball away disappointingly, and they're on the counter-attack. No one's tracking back. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. What are my defenders doing there? They're doing absolutely nothing to try and get back and even have a challenge at stopping that shot. Yeah, Leader. Not impressed with that performance out there. That's terrible. Fair play to the goalkeeper, Villalobos. I'm not happy with that performance. Not at all. The attackers, not too bad. Bielefeld, they're all the way down in 15th. I know it's only, 12 points, 11 points between that and the promotion spots, but not good enough. Not good enough to be drawing that game. Is that their goalkeeper? No. It's their winger. Okay, anyway. Jublovic not out for very long, which is good. We're also 5 unbeaten, which I shouldn't really be too sort of upset about. and Susek wants a new contract there. So I'll sort that out off camera, and I'll join you guys back for the Hoffenheim 2 game. Alrighty, so let's get into the lineup. I decided to keep Leader in there. I don't know, it's a bit of a risk, but then you look at Pelivan, his average rating is pretty terrible. So I guess we'll continue with what we've got and just hope and pray that Leader doesn't have a repeat of last game. Everything else exactly the same, except for Joey Muller. Just come back from his injury, so he's back on the bench. We might try and get him out there in some sort of capacity today. He's more of he's a natural midfielder, so maybe we try and get him in midfield, depending on how well Meyer plays. Big game against Hoffenheim too, though. They're actually not performing too well this season. They're not sort of one of the top half teams. They're sort of struggling a little bit. Jublovic to Akale, Gudra. It's a bit of a terrible ball, that one. I just don't really want Hoffenheim to get into the game too much here. It'd be inviting pressure, because they actually have got some good players. Probably not as strong as some of the other teams, but they've got a couple of standouts. That's a really good win there by Akale. Gudra. Amadin, get in there, son. Good goal. And it's going to be disallowed. That's frustrating. That was a really nice goal. Very well hit there by Amadin. Akale gets skinned on that right-hand side. Chateau, though, does well. He hasn't been a bad signing, Chateau. Bojovic, onside? Offside. That's our second disallowed goal. It's a bit frustrating. All right, Hoffenheim bring the ball forward again. They're sort of focusing their attack down this right-hand side, or down their left-hand side, our right-hand side. Sort of running at Akale, who's not really performing too well, and that's a terrible goal to give up. It's deflected off the defender as well, but I think it was probably going in the back of the net anyway. And we find ourselves 1-0 down, despite having the ball in the back of the net twice ourselves. Udra, Bojovic. There we go. All right, we finally got our first goal, although Bojovic could have already had two. A little bit frustrating, but at least we're back on level terms. We just need to make sure that we actually come forward again. Susek did get his new contract. I think he's on 2K per week now, which is a lot more than he was on previously. Amadin, Jublovic hits his back. And that's unlucky. That's just an unlucky, loss of possession there. We're coming forward again, though. Susek. Inside to Seebeck. Gudra to Susek. Should have put it in the back of the net. I think he was offside, even still, potentially. Come on, boys. Let's go. We're getting a lot of highlights, which is positive. Although Bojovic giving the ball away yet again. And Hoffenheim are in behind here. They're going to score. Oh, it's so frustrating. Meyer, 6.3. I mean, the goalkeeper's on a 6.2. I should have put Mikkel back in. Mikkel's way better, in theory. I feel like we've actually been playing really well. It should be 3-2 right now, realistically, if those goals did stand. And I mean, they've got 2 goals from 2 shots on target. So I know we have 1 from 1 at the moment, but... there is a highlight going in the background, although it looks like it's just finished. I'll let this one play out. We'll see what happens here, and I'm going to have to make some changes. Seebeck's not playing too well. Susak's not playing too well. Bojovic, yes, get in there, son. Oh, that would have been his hat-trick. All right, we're back on level terms again. 2-2. All right, change. Muller on for Meyer, and then Stark on for Seebeck, I think, who's a little bit fatigued as well. Come on, boys, we need a winner. All right. 12 minutes left. Hoffenheim currently have the ball. Can we win possession? Yes, we can. Chateau. Amadin inside to Gudra. Stark. Tries to turn. Beats his man. Can he cross it? Pulls it back. Susak. Come on, Susak. I just gave you a new contract. You need to be repaying that favour. Damn it. So many highlights. Come on. Good cross. Good cross. Amadin. Oh. Carle. Back to Gudra. Got no real support near him. There we go. Julovic. Goes all the way back to Chateau. Not exactly what I want. Anyway, we're moving forward. Stark. Stark with an absolutely beautiful goal. Oh my god. He dinked that into the top corner. I think it hit the crossbar as well. And in the back of the net for the winner. Get in there, Stark. Wow. I almost want to see that goal again. That was... Let's have a look at a replay of this. That was beautiful. Look at it. Oh, the perfect little dink. Top bins. Love that. He hasn't played too well this season, Stark, but that was something else. And that bumps us back up to 7th place. Albeit Ingolstadt could actually go above us. And we're only, I mean, 1 win and a couple of these teams lose and we're into automatic promotion. So we're only 2 points away from that. Elversberg, they look like they're sort of running away with it a little bit at the moment. So fair play to them. Yeah, what a comeback victory. That was impressive. Gudra, man of the match. 8.6 for him. And then Bojovic doing really well. And yeah, Julian Stark, what can I say? What an absolutely beautiful, beautiful goal. And yeah, that's going to wrap up the episode, guys. Please make sure you smash a like. Surely Stark's goal deserves a like for that. I'm probably going to take Villalobos, the goalkeeper, out of goals at the moment, as his form has... Well, we'll say it's fallen off a cliff from that last game. But anyway, yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, guys, if you're a new viewer, and keep up to date with all these episodes coming out in the future. Apart from that, as always, take it easy and goodbye.